Come to think of it, we give dignity to others depending on multiple factors, like social standing, vulnerability, financial position, appearance, or our relationship with them. Right? Isn't that wrong? Always remember, if you're helping someone in distress or trying to protect someone dear to you, do so by keeping his or her dignity intact. Let's demonstrate this with a story. The story is about people not having equal access to wealth and opportunities. Also, it explores a girl's rights to decide her future. A poor farmer lived in a village with his daughter. He earned a living by cultivating a small piece of land. Times were getting tough as there was no rain for a year. The crops were dying as a result. He realised that other farmers in the village were using tractors and drip irrigation. However, he did not have the money to make similar investments. His young, educated daughter told him, instead of depending on the rain alone, he could consider taking a loan and improving his farming methods. The farmer took his daughter's advice and borrowed some money from the landlord. He was unable to repay the debt within the promised time. The powerful and rich landlord thought it was the best time to negotiate with the farmer. He told the farmer that since he took the loan based on his daughter's advice and was unable to repay, it was only fair he gave his daughter to the landlord instead. Question: what would you do if you were the father? What would you do if you were the daughter? His daughter agreed to the proposal on one condition. She explained that as a girl, she should have an equal right to choose her life partner. To fulfill her requirements, she asked the landlord to toss a coin and allow her to choose heads or tails. Since they were on a riverside and no coin toss was available, she offered the black and white pebbles lying on the riverbed. She laid down the rules. If she was to pick a black pebble, she is not obliged to marry the landlord. But if she picks the white pebble, she will have to marry the landlord. The landlord quickly agreed to her rules. To ensure the outcome in his favour, he picked a white pebble in each of his hands and asked the girls to choose. The girl thought for a minute and quickly tapped his right hand as her choice. Confused, the landlord dropped the pebble on the ground. "Oops," she said, while searching for the pebble that had got mixed up with the other pebbles. The only choice left was for her to look at the other pebble that the landlord was holding in his left hand. As expected, that pebble was white also. To the landlord's surprise, she exclaimed, "Oh, this means I choose the black pebble then." She outsmarted the landlord. She took the land documents from his assistant and happily walked away. Questions: have you ever felt helpless or vulnerable due to a situation that is not in your control? Were you exploited because of that situation? What would you have done instead of trading your daughter? If you were the daughter in the story, how would you have escaped from the situation? If you were the landlord, how would you take back your money without exploiting the farmer? There is only one thing humans don't make any compromise with, and that is dignity. Human dignity involves respect among different people of society. People come from different families, different religions, different backgrounds and races, and when people respect each other's differences and accept them without judging, that is dignity. In this story, you will learn how we can help someone else without taking away their dignity, which is also a form of respect. A rich man hired a young boy from the village to work in his house. He treated the boy as his own son. They ate the same food, and each time he bought clothes for his son, he would buy them for the boy as well. The boy was extremely grateful to the rich man, whom he called master. He wanted to do something to make his master proud. It was an annual festival time in the village, and there was an open competition for young men to join a bullfight. The boy thought this was the best time to show his bravery and make his master proud. He informed his master about the interest in participating in the competition. The winner of the competition will get 1,000 gold coins, and the boy was confident of winning it. On the day of the competition, the master took the boy to the competition venue. All the participants took turns introducing themselves. And when it was the boy's turn, his master stepped in and he introduced the boy to the crowd. He shared the boy's story with everybody. This boy was a poor orphan. I took him in my care. I gave him a home. Today you will see how he has grown to be a confident young man under my guidance, the master said with pride. To everyone's disappointment, the boy failed in the first round. What would you do if you were the boy? What would you do if you were the master? The master walked up to the boy and asked him gently if he was okay. The boy replied that he was upset about disappointing his master, since the master had placed a lot of confidence in him. The master understood the situation. He walked back to the stage once again and introduced the boy to the crowd once more. This young man will succeed if you give him a chance. Human potential has no limits. If there is a will, there's a way, he said, smiling at the boy. The boy immediately felt a shift in his self-worth. At that moment, he understood the power of possibilities. He understood that if he focused, there was a possibility to win. Soon the tables turned and the boy won the competition. His master realised that the boy's value was far greater than the 1,000 gold coins he had won. Questions. If someone helps you, how will you show that person that you value their help? In the story, what would you have done to show the respect to the master? If you were the master, would you allow the boy to take part in the bullfight? What would be your reaction when the boy lost in the first round? How would you have encouraged the boy to win the competition? The situations might be different, but this story is to lay emphasis on the importance of human dignity. To err is human. But how will you make someone realise their mistake? By punishing or by insulting? No, that will leave the person scarred for a lifetime. Instead, the person should be made to realise his or her mistake in the most dignified and respectful manner. It was a class full of young teenage boys. They were boisterous, flamboyant, and at the age wanting to flaunt their freedom, independence and identity. It was Richard's birthday a day prior, and his father had gifted him a fitness band, which is a combination of a watch, a camera and a mobile at the same time. James was quite fascinated with the gift Richard had received. James had been asking his father for an ordinary watch for a long time. His father kept dodging his demand, saying that only if he gets a good grade in the final exam, he will buy it for him. Owning such a fancy watch was a distant reality for James, and he couldn't help looking at Richard's watch with envy. There was a lunch break in school, and James noticed that Richard had removed his watch, keeping it in his bag and lying on the desk. James thought, where could a better opportunity for him to look at the watch and see how it works? James checked the watch out of curiosity rather than any intention to steal it. But before he could put it back in the bag, the bell rang and all the students returned back to their desks. James returned to his desk too, along with Richard's watch. In no time, Richard realised his watch had been missing from his bag. He panicked, since his father had warned him not to lose such an expensive gift, which was not even a day old. The teacher realised that Richard was heartbroken, so he immediately asked the doors to be shut and made a statement to the entire class. No outsider has entered the classroom except the students studying in this class, so I'm sure if someone has stolen the watch, it must be one of you. Here is your chance to return Richard's watch. In the next 5 minutes, all students will blindfold themselves, and whoever has taken the watch will keep it back on my table. Richard found the watch on the teacher's table. James was relieved that he was saved from a huge embarrassment. What would you have done if you were James or the teacher? As the years passed, James was now a respected and accomplished executive working in a multinational company. One day, he was waiting at the airport and he saw an aged and frail man sitting next to him. He soon recognised that it was the same teacher that had taught him in school. After a warm introduction, James confided, saying, "Thank you, sir. If you had asked me to search for the watch that day, I would have been expelled from school for theft." The teacher took some time to recall and comprehend the incident and responded quietly, "If you had not mentioned it, I would never have known who it was, because I too was blindfolded that day." Questions. Is punishment the only way to correct a mistake? If it was a mistake that was unintentional, should the punishment be still the same? If you were punished, what will you experience? 1. Regret. 2. Shame. 3. Embarrassment. Or 4. Anger. Instead of punishing, if you were forgiven for a mistake, how will you feel? 1. Relieved. 2. Grateful. 3. Mindful. 4. Responsible. Looks can be deceiving. Through this story, you'll realise that we should respect an individual for who he or she is and not for how they present themselves. There was a professor who was a renowned mathematician, and he commanded a lot of respect in his community. He had done a lot of research, published many papers, and contributed to the cause of education with his immense knowledge of wealth. In appreciation of his service, the government decided to honour him with a prestigious award. When the local village headman got to know about this, he wanted to facilitate the professor by hosting a dinner in his honour. Some of the most influential people were invited to the dinner, since it was a high-profile event. Invites were sent in advance to all the guests, along with the dress code. The day of the dinner came, and people started arriving. They were dressed as instructed on the invitation. Amid the well-dressed guests was a man who came in a very ordinary outfit. The security guard at the gate got suspicious and stopped the man from entering the dinner party. They asked him to show them the proof of the invite. As expected, the man did not have any invitation. The guard warned the man he would be handed over to the police if he tried to enter such an exclusive event again. As the guests started assembling, everyone was waiting for the chief guest so that the event could begin. However, there was no trace of the professor, and the host was now getting impatient. As he was trying to contact the professor, the security guard came and handed a small parcel to the host. The parcel had the name of the professor on the top of it. Since the security man knew well the event was in the professor's honour, he thought the parcel would be important. As the crowd anxiously looked on, the parcel was opened, and from it came out a coat, a pair of trousers, and a note from the professor. The note read, "I had come for the gathering a while ago, but I was stopped and sent back from the gate because I was not in a business suit. I am therefore sending you a business suit to receive the honour on my behalf." Questions. Do you think we respect people more for how they appear rather than who they are? Has there been an incident where someone was initially disrespectful and then became respectful? What was the action, behaviour, or situation that triggered that change? Do you think if you respect someone, you will continue to respect that person forever? Why or how do we continue to respect someone? Competition. Select one story from the above and tell us how you will change the outcome of the story.